beautiful soul. My name is Mara, and I welcome you to today's Pick a Card reading. We are going to be taking an in-depth look at the month of June for you. So we're going to cover your love and romance, your work and finances, as well as your spirituality and personal growth. So I have 3 different shells for you to choose from and 3 different angel number cards for you to choose from. And as I hold those up to the camera, I will be playing a sound for those that would like to choose their reading clairaudiently. So starting off with reading number 1. Reading number 2. And reading number 3. All right, if you need more time, you can pause the video or you can go down to the description box and hit the reading selection timestamp. As always, if you're interested in purchasing this deck or any of the decks that I use on my channel, you can find a list to all the decks that I use in the description box. And if you're interested in learning how to read tarot, then you can find my free tarot course, a link to that playlist in the description box as well. I put out a new class every other week and we just hit the High Priestess. So definitely check that out if that's something that you're interested in. So if you are ready, go ahead and find your reading timestamp and I'll see you there. Hello, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and jump into the month of June for you. So I do have this angel number and we are going to pull that at the end of your reading just as a little confirmation. So I'm going to start with some oracle. I'll pull an oracle card for each topic that we go over. So starting off with your work and your finances. For group number 1, Spirit, what is the overall theme of their work and their finances for the month of June? Okay, so we've got wisdom, the bay plant, bay leaves, the bay plant. I don't know. So, okay, we've got a lot of wisdom coming in for you. We've got a lot that you're learning. I do feel like you're probably going to be excelling greatly within your finances because you are opening yourself up. You're opening yourself up to the passion, the desire that comes with enhancing something. So whether that's learning new skills within a current business that you own, whether it's learning new things or getting a promotion in your current workplace, or if it's more of like a shift in your career where you're looking to make a big change and you have to learn some new skills, maybe go beyond what you're currently used to in some way. So let's, of course, clarify this with some tarot. Oh, my iPad just put a little notice out for it chimed. I feel like that was a slight confirmation from your spirit guides that it's a good idea for you to be learning during the month of June. Okay. I do kind of feel like the promotion is less likely with the 4 of Pentacles here. It could just be that it's your perspective about it, but I feel like this month is really going to be about you changing something, you aligning with a different perspective or a different avenue in terms of receiving money. I think that you've been a little bit cut off or cutting yourself off, or maybe just making some poor financial decisions, which, we've all been there. So no judgment. But I definitely feel like this month is about you learning. It's about you gaining, but maybe you don't see immediate results. Whatever you do, though, I do think that creating a solid routine, and it's funny that the chime that went off, it was for my calendar. And so I just feel like your guides are saying you need to schedule things. You need to make a clear routine. You need to make a clear idea surrounding, what it is that you really want to achieve and how are you really going to do that? And what is the why behind that? Like, you want to have a clear, concise direction to work with, because if you're just kind of like going without purpose or without a sense of direction, then it can get really overwhelming. You may burn out, and it wouldn't be good for you on many levels. Okay, so I do feel like there's going to be some emotions for you to process. There's some emotions for you to regulate. We've got the Six of Pentacles now on the bottom of the deck, which is a really good sign in terms of finances. I do think that there's going to be some kind of assistance. I feel like you've been in a rut financially. There's some kind of difficulty that you've been up against. And again, that may be your own doing, but it's still valid, it still exists. And so I do think that there's some kind of loss or something that's not fitting anymore in your life or in your career that needs to go. It needs to be let go of. And so there is going to be this transition. And earlier, the High Priestess was on the bottom of the deck. So I do feel like this is a time for you to flow into the next stage and really listen to your intuition when making this decision. Listen to the higher wisdom that comes through in terms of finding a path that feels good for you. The Justice card does speak about, getting into your purpose, speaking of like feeling in tune with your life. So with the Queen of Wands, I do feel like you're gaining confidence, but from your ability to process what isn't working anymore. And I do think that you're going to be receiving some help financially, that you will be able to really gain a new perspective or gain just some more resources overall. You may be gaining more finances, but I just feel like it's going to be slow going. And I do feel like it's about you really owning the power that is naturally within you, that maybe it doesn't come very easily to you at this point because of something that has happened. I hope that that makes sense. So overall, I do see that this is going to be a good month for you to expand within your career life, within your work life, to lean into new ideas and perspectives. Don't be afraid to try new things, and make sure that you are setting a clear routine and schedule surrounding these things so that you aren't just, moving through your career life without purpose. All right, so moving on into your love life. For group number one, Spirit, what is the overall theme of their love life for the month of June? Transition, okay. We've got the cauliflower. I feel like there's this sense of mystery with the Cancer and the moon here. It does kind of feel like you will be kind of, I'm getting the image of like the hermit, where you're kind of holding a light out in front of you as you move forward. So it may be that you're kind of having to navigate unknown territory, that you're having to go through some kind of transition. And I do love that you have 2-2 and 1-1. So you've got some confirmation from your spirit guides here. But let's get a look at what this transition is really all about for you. Okay. So I feel like this is about you really choosing to progress. I really feel like the people that chose this pile are either have been in a really long-term committed relationship or they are currently single. I just feel like there's a sense of like new movement and direction that only really happens when you've been stagnant in a relationship for a long time or when you've been single for a long time. It just seems like there's newfound security, there's newfound adventures, um there's new passion and desire, and I do love all the wands energy here. Um, I feel like you may be lacking some emotional connection, but that can definitely be felt through the movement and the action that the wands provide. So even though there's no cups cards, I do feel like there's this really nice energy surrounding this transitional period where either you're getting into a relationship or your long-term relationship that has been a very specific way for a long time is starting to gain momentum in a new direction. It's starting to feel a lot more passionate, a lot more purposeful. There's more desire. I feel like there's a more of like a respect, like you guys really get each other. And if you know you're single and you're coming into a relationship, then this is really all about you, taking advantage of the fact that you have done the work to really get to know yourself, because I do feel like you have gone through a lot in life, and this is just part of the journey is meeting somebody that is going to understand you, that is really going to be able to uplift and support you and match your energy in a big and significant way. Um, I am getting the message that for a small group of you, um, and you may have already clicked away because that other part wasn't resonating yet, but a small group of you, I do feel like you are single and you're going to be meant to be staying single and just focusing on friendships and the community that you are working towards. I feel like there's some kind of movement energy where you're not quite in the space of, being in alignment with the person that you're supposed to be with, but you're also not in alignment with staying alone. So there's this community that's being built, but it's not necessarily a romantic one. Overall, either way, I do feel like this is about timing and just really respecting the process that you have going on, or potentially your partner has going on, or your future partner has going on. Overall, I do feel like this is just about you, taking what you have, but not ignoring the things that are still to come, the manifestations or the physical parts that haven't quite gotten into the physical world. Overall, I think this transition is going to be something that really brings you into a better standing, whether that's in your single life or in a relationship. But again, as I'm like trying to wrap up that part, I feel like there is still that mystery side of this with the moon and Cancer. I feel like you won't have all the answers. You won't have all of the bigger picture until you start taking action towards this transition. So if it's something that you're like, ooh, I don't know if I can do it, I don't know if I'm worthy of it, just trust that you are. Trust that it is something that you are capable of and that you are worthy of. Oh, on the bottom of the deck also we have love. So I love that for you. Now, lastly, let's take a look at your personal growth throughout June. So for group number 1, Spirit, what is their personal growth going to look like for June? Okay, we've got courage, the time. Oh, I almost said thyme. I did say thyme, but I love this. So I do see, we've got a little dagger here. I feel like you'll be making some clear decisions. I do feel like not just in your in your career life, but also in your personal life, that a clear structure, a clear schedule is really something that's going to benefit you in terms of getting things done, because you have the fiery passion, you have the desire there, but it's going to be important for you to have a clear schedule, because I feel like Libras can be a little bit indecisive. That energy can be a little bit up and down. So, but when they're in their element, it's very balanced, it's very secure, it's very sure. So I feel like if you get into a space of like clear understanding of how you want to progress, and again, not just in your career, that you will truly benefit from the month of June. Okay. Oh yeah, we've got the Hermit. Yeah, it's a slow moving energy with the Knight of Pentacles, but definitely one that you can put all of your emotions into. I feel like you're making a lot of progress in the month of June. It definitely feels like you're coming into your own. Again, I really feel like you are somebody who has been through a lot, that has really taken the time and the effort to get to know yourself on a deep level. And so understanding what you want, it comes easily to you now. It hasn't always. And I think that the month of June is really going to be about choosing those things, making the decision to be courageous even, and choose the thing that may be a little bit scary, may be a little bit daunting, because you've never chosen yourself in that way before. But emotionally, it will be so rewarding. That path will be so fulfilling. And so with the Hermit on the bottom of the deck, I mean, that's just confirmation that you are going through a big turning point in your life, and you do want to turn inwards. You do want to reflect. You do want to gather, as much emotional guidance from your own intuition as you can. And I truly think that that's going to benefit you and uplift you. Okay, so we've got the Seven of Wands and the Ace of Wands. I love that. So there is some resistance here. I do feel like there's some scarcity, or maybe just a little bit of like chaos where, excuse me, where you don't exactly feel sure or confident about your ability to do things. Or maybe it's just something that, is continuously changing, and it's just taking a while for you to get the rhythm of. But I do feel like as long as you're willing to not feel like you have to prove yourself, that this is okay, that you're okay to just choose what feels good for you. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to like go out of your way to make it make sense for other people. If it makes sense for you, then that's enough. And then if you do that, I do see you being able to clearly take action, like know your strategy, know how to do it. And it may take a long time to get done, but ultimately, it's worth it. It's giving new spiritual development. It's giving new passion, new desire, and it's from your ability to let down the resistance and just do it, to be that, courageous energy that time talks about. So yeah, I really like this for you. I do feel like there's that really nice balance. I do like the energy of the fire and the air, where you can add quickness, add speed, add clarity to your passion, your desires, your the fire that you're lighting within yourself. So yeah, I really like that for you. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your angel number as a little confirmation from your spirit guides. So 1414, adaptability. I embrace adaptability and flexibility in my life. I navigate change with grace and ease, finding new opportunities in every situation. I am resilient and open to the flow of life. Yes, I love this for you. So this will be a number for you to look out for in the month of June, as a little confirmation that your spirit guides are with you. I also feel like this is just a confirmation overall that you have what it takes to adapt, to be flexible, to go through these transitions, to learn what you need to in terms of your finances and your career, to be courageous enough to grow and expand as a person, as an individual. You have what it takes. And I wish you all the best in the month of June. So if you found this reading insightful and uplifting and you like the way that I read tarot and oracle, then please consider giving this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, then please subscribe to my channel. I do put out a weekly pick a card reading and a monthly guidance reading as well. So yeah, I love you all. Thank you so much for watching this reading. Blessed be. Hello, group number 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and jump into the month of June for you. So I do have this angel number that we are going to take a look at the end of your reading, just as a little confirmation. And I'm going to start off with some oracle. I will be pulling an oracle card for each topic that we discuss. And I'm going to start with your work and your finances. So for group number 2, Spirit, what is the month of June bringing them in regards to their finances? So we've got gratitude, the pink rose. I absolutely love this for you. I definitely feel like there's a lot for you to be grateful for in the month of June. You may be getting more finances, you may be getting an increase of sorts, or maybe you just feel really connected to the work that you're doing, that you feel connected to your finances, to the things that you are receiving in relation or in regards to the work that you're putting out. I love that. Let's, of course, clarify this with some tarot. This overall just feels like such a beautiful, light, fluffy energy. And I do like that we have the air qualities here, so it does feel very clear. It feels very fluffy. Attractive is the word that's coming to mind. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, so you're going to go through a big change in the month of June when it comes to your finances. I do feel like it'll be a little bit unexpected. I don't think that the overall change is going to be unexpected. I feel like the way that it comes about will be unexpected because there is a certain, so I'm like struggling to like even out my cards. There is a certain level of divine intervention here with the Judgment card. I feel like the way that you're picturing this change happening, the way that you think it's possible, I just feel like it's so limited. And so the universe is going to show you, no, like we've got a bigger plan for you. We've got more substance for you to grab a hold of in your life. We've got more experiences for you to enjoy that go beyond what you are perceiving or what you're assuming. There is this energy here with the 9 of Wands that does speak of, having your guard up, not really wanting to feel grateful, not really having a clear reason as to why you should feel grateful. And it does kind of speak of, comparing to the past, really assuming that things are going to go negatively because they've gone negatively in the past. And that's not to say that there won't be negative things in this change. There's a little bug flying around, so that may be a confirmation from your spirit guides, but it's not to say that there won't be negative things because, the tower experience, it's not typically a joyride. It's hard. It can be hard. It can be a little bit painful. It can be a little bit shocking, but I am mostly getting the sense that you will be so grateful and so rewarded through this experience overall that even the painful parts of this change are not going to shake you to your core. Like they're not something that's going to like be devastating. It's not like you lose everything that you've ever had, like your whole house burns down and then, you're on to the next life. But it's this feeling of surety, like you are getting what you need. You are rebuilding with purpose. And it's going to be important for you to lean on the future, to lean on hope, to lean on faith, to lean on a clear vision instead of leaning on all of the reasons that you've slowly built up over time of why you can't do something, why you're not worthy of something, why you aren't willing to do something. You know, there's just so much more flexibility in you than I think that you've really allowed yourself to tap into. And I definitely see that changing for you. I also see that you will be very victorious, very accomplished within the month of June. And it's going to be important for you to lean on the people around you because they really want to uplift you. They want to support you and they want to challenge you, you know, to do your best. They want to see you succeed. And so, you know, set boundaries where you need to. If people are overstepping in your life, then obviously, you know, communicate that. But overall, people want to see you do well, and you're going to find a lot of success and ideas when it comes to the people in your life. I really like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and explore your love and romance. So for group number 2, Spirit, what will their love and romance be like in the month of June? Okay, so we've got 2 cards. Oh, this card came out for the last pile as well. So we've got transition and happiness, cauliflower and marjoram. I do like this. I feel like there's a certain level of, you know, increase. There's this feeling of gaining, of getting the things that you want. It's like if you've been in a rut, if you've been kind of stuck, if you've been kind of stagnant, whether you're single or in a relationship, that's about to change in your favor. It's like you're finally getting the happiness that you really deserve. And I do feel like with this little potion bottle here that this is like a healing experience, that this is like you've created the right tincture for yourself and you've taken the time to design it, to build it, to create it. And that is the reason why you're tapping into this happiness, because you have really taken the time to cultivate it. And yeah, I like that on the bottom of the deck is the P, communication. So this isn't just, you know, happening because it's happening because you have taken the time to communicate, you've taken the time to express, you've taken the time to honor the things that you really want and need in a relationship. Okay. Okay. So let's get some clarity on this. Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. Lots of communication. I do feel like, yeah, you've been deeply reflecting about the things that you really need moving forward. I think that June is going to be a little bit of a month for you to be more by yourself. It's more than likely you are single, but if you are in a relationship, I feel like this is pointing to, you know, you guys individually enhancing your own experiences, making sure that you guys feel connected to what you've got going on before you come together and connect in a meaningful way. And that way, the communication is really there. That way, you guys are able to talk about the things that haven't worked out that you want to improve. The star can speak of healing, it can speak of a sense of hope, like your hope being restored about a situation. So if you're in a really difficult situation, whether you're in that situation singularly, like you're single, or if you're in a hard situation with your partner, I do see that improving immensely after you give yourselves the time and space to really focus on what is going to make you happy. What is the transition that you really need to see in your life? What improvements need to be made? And then communicating that and being on top of that, brave to really dissect it, to really say, okay, well, this is what we want. This is the plan. What are the steps that we need to achieve in order to get there? And what things do we need to overcome? With the Ace of Pentacles being on the bottom of the deck, I feel like this is such a good grounded energy that this really speaks of, you know, the substance that you're gaining in this relationship. It's like the universe is giving you this opportunity to create stability with this person. And if you're single and you're not interested in a relationship, then let that be a sign that you're creating immense stability by yourself, which is so important. Okay, so lastly, we are going to take a look at your spirituality and personal growth throughout the month of June. For group number 2, Spirit, what does their personal growth look like? Okay, we've got, okay, we've got cleansing, and on the bottom of the deck is ritual, lemon and sweet corn. I love this yellow energy here. Very vibrant, very bright. I do feel like you're achieving a lot of growth, a lot of spiritual growth to be exact. This feels very magical. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're somebody that is very in tune with the spiritual side of things, with your practice, with whatever you believe in. Yeah, I feel like with the lemons here, you're adding like this certain zest for life. Like you're regaining some kind of in like some kind of vitality. It feels like you're adding in a spark that maybe dwindled away or maybe hasn't been there. And it's from you cleansing. It's from you detoxing out things. You may want to drink more lemon water. That may be something that really benefits you. I do like that we have the water symbol here. So that could be a sign for you to drink lemon water, or just more water in general. But I do feel like there's a certain level of magic that will assist you in this personal growth. So I love to see that. And especially with the moon here, love it. Okay, let's clarify this with some tarot. Yeah. Okay, totally. I see what's going on here. So you have been really tempted by a lot of things in your life. I do feel like this is going to be a month of you sifting and sorting through what's going to benefit you long term. The Seven of Cups, it is a great energy when it comes to getting exciting stuff, but it's not great sustainability wise. It's something that, you have a lot of temptations, you've got a lot of options. Some of them, most all of them have, the strings attached, like if you were to make a wish to a genie, like that kind of idea, where there's always going to be like some kind of like little thing that you're not expecting, some kind of negative thing that follows it. And I feel like this is a month for you to be kind of busy and balance what it is that you want right now and how that's going to sustain through your life. Like, how are you going to keep that up? What are you passionate enough about to stay on top of? And this will include cleansing or releasing the things that you've chosen just because they give you immediate relief, or just because, it's a quick fix to things. There is a lot of messaging here with the Seven of Cups and the Devil being, in the same reading. That may be an indicator that you have some vices, some it could be alcohol, it could be cigarettes, it could be, food, it could be something that is ultimately limiting you, but you're using as a crutch, which, no judgment here, but I definitely feel like it's something to consider, to look at, because this is something that is ultimately, giving you that sense of like power, or the sense of like spark, but it's false. It's always going to weigh you down. It's not giving you the freedom that you really need. And so I do feel like you're cleansing yourself from some toxic behavior or a negative cycle that you've really been stuck in the month of June. And you may want to do a ritual surrounding that. You may want to burn some incense. You may want to give your spirit guides an offering, some kind of effort when it comes to loving yourself. We've got the Emperor and the Empress, so I definitely feel like there's this balance to what you've got going on. There's a lot of things indicating that you will be honoring both sides of yourself. So if you're feeling like you're too much in the feminine, like you don't want to take action, you only want to receive. And if you're feeling like you're too much in the masculine, where you only want to take action, you're not willing to accept like gifts, you're not willing to accept good things into your life or allow that flow, then it can cause some major blockages. So make sure that you are balancing things. Make sure that you're tapping into the flow or the balance of what you've got internally. You don't have to embrace every little piece of yourself, but it is important that, you know, you give yourself the space to explore what it is that's limiting you and take a real and honest look at that and say, can I let this go? And if not, then you've got some new conversations to start with yourself. All right. So lastly, let's go ahead and take a look at your angel number that your guides want you to have for the month of June. So we've got, 1212, empowerment. Let me see, I'll get this in the screen. I am empowered by the divine energy within me. I take confident steps towards my dreams, knowing that I am supported by the universe. My inner strength guides me to success and fulfillment. Period. I love that. You've got this. I really truly feel like you are making some really important decisions in your life when it comes to, you know, your ability to perceive good things, attract good things with your career and finances, whether it's in your relationship or, you know, in your romantic life in general, where you're really choosing yourself and you're communicating the things that you really need, or whether it's about you releasing what no longer serves you, what's holding you back, the toxic cycles that you are no longer benefiting from. Whatever you set out to accomplish, I do feel like you'll be successful if you keep empowering yourself, if you keep pouring back into your cup. So make sure that you're not overexerting your energy so that you have space and time and the emotion to really invest in yourself in these ways. So yeah, if you found this reading insightful and helpful and uplifting, and you like the way that I read tarot and oracle, then please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do put out a weekly pick a card reading and a monthly guidance reading as well. So yeah, I love you all. I wish you all the best in the month of June. I'll see you later. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's go ahead and jump into the month of June for you. So I do have this angel number that I'm going to set over here to the side just to add a little bit of confirmation for what we receive in your reading at the end of your reading. So I'm going to start off with some oracle. I'm going to pull an oracle card for each topic of your reading. And we are going to start with your work and your finances for the month of June. So for group number 3, Spirit, what are their finances looking like for June? Ooh, refinement. The Dahlia. I do like this energy for you. I feel like you're kind of making this concoction of what you want, how you're going to achieve it, and all of the elements that go into making a solid goal and making it a real thing for you. I definitely feel like this is about you getting into better rhythms, getting into better habits, maybe focusing more, maybe adding some more discipline into your work life. I just feel like this is such an improvement time for you, that this is a time for you to really see what you want and tweak things to get to a good standing with yourself in terms of your finances. Oh, and I do love that on the bottom of the deck here we have longevity, the chrysanthemum. Wait, chrysanthemum. There we go. I had to spell that out slowly there for you. But yeah, I feel like these changes that you're making are going to be long term. This refinement that you're tapping into is going to be for the long run. These are major improvements that you're making. So let's tap into them. Let's get some clarity with tarot. For group number 3. Okay, I see. Yeah. So, okay. you are meant to be successful. I feel like there's maybe some self-doubt in your ability to accomplish some things, or maybe mm, you may be making things just a little bit more complicated than they need to be in terms of your finances or your career life altogether. There is something that's no longer serving you. There's something that does need to end. It needs to be let go of. And I think there's some fear surrounding that because what if what comes next? Like I feel like there's this blank space where maybe you have an idea of what you want to do, but you're not sure on how it's going to be done. How are you going to be supported? What is the game plan there? I just feel like there's some scarcity around letting go the norm for you in terms of your career. So there's definitely a change, and I feel like there's some fear around making that change or at least embracing it. But know that all is well because I do see a lot of success here, a lot of achievement. The King of Swords is, it's not the perfect king that you would want to see. You would want to see like the King of Pentacles in a reading, but you with the King of Swords, it's this very disciplined energy. He's got a structure, he's got a plan, he's got rules, he's got standards, and those things really benefit him in terms of getting what he wants. He's very clear about what he wants and he knows how to get it. That can turn a little bit sour when he starts to be too perfectionist about things, but I really feel like if you just embrace this ending and say, I don't know how it's all going to work out, but I'm going to figure it out as I go. I'm going to make a plan. I'm going to make a structure that I can really rely on. Then I feel like you'll be so successful. And you're not alone in this. I do feel like there are people that really want to uplift you and support you along the way, along the journey. We've got the Ace of Cups here, and that makes me feel like there is this new beginning. Of course, with the Death here, I don't think this will be accessible with you, or accessible to you unless you kind of flip this moment right side up and embrace the death. Let that ending happen. But I do see this being a beginning of overflowing prosperity. With the Queen of Cups on the bottom of the deck, I do feel like this is, it's an opportunity for you to follow your intuition. Of course, make a solid plan. Set your big goals and break those goals down into small, attainable things. But be willing to be flexible because I do feel like there are some things that, and especially with this refinement energy here, there are some things that are going to shift as you open yourself up to these changes that maybe you just don't comprehend yet. Maybe they're not in your point of view yet. So give yourself permission to kind of figure things out as you're going, but also have that clear structure, have that clear plan. Okay, so now let's take a look at your love life for the month of June. Oh, immediately we've got communication. And we've got luck on the bottom of the deck, the lime. Okay, so these are the peas, and I love this. I feel like you're like two peas in a pod with your person, or that's what you're kind of attracting. It may, if you're not interested in a relationship, I feel like this is about you connecting with yourself and being really honest about what you want in a partner. Yeah, I feel like communication is going to be the main theme of what you want. You may want to write out, or excuse me, the main theme of your love life, but you may want to write out what you want. So if you are facing having a difficult conversation with your partner, or even with yourself, then this would look like, actually writing down what do you want to say. It's not silly to do that. And it will make you feel much more grounded, and secure in the grand scheme of things. And, peas, when they grow, they do need a lot of structure. They do need, like that trellis moment where they have something to grow up on. Wow. Okay. Yeah, there's just some hurt feelings. There's some sadness there. There's a loss there. Um, for a small group of you, I do want to say before I jump into the rest of this that you will most likely be having an ex come back. It does seem like there's been a heartache, and there's a lot indicating a reunion. There's a lot indicating you guys coming back together. The Knight of Cups here is often a symbol of an ex coming back, but that's just a small group of you. So moving forward, I do see that there is some sadness. There's a loss there. There's sadness. There's heartache. There's emotion there. Whether it was due to your partner hurting you, or it was something that you struggled with in your own personal life that really has affected your partnership. I feel like there's significant improvement, but it's going to be as a result, the improvement will be as a result of you communicating and really honoring your emotions and making sure that you are clear about what you need to feel supported, to feel victorious, to feel happy, and to feel content in the relationship. Maybe you don't need to skip ahead and, move forward onto what is working out. You have to look at and acknowledge what has spilled, like what is not working out, what has fallen over, and be willing to really honor that without it being this big scary thing that talks about it's all over just because a little piece is a little bit broken or a little bit uh, messed up doesn't mean that the whole thing needs to be thrown away. And I feel like when you lean into that, then you really improve significantly with your partner, or even with yourself. I do love that on the bottom of the deck we have the Devil and the Lovers, because they both speak of making a choice, but I feel like with the fact that the Lovers is on top, you will be choosing love. You will be choosing connection. You will be choosing passion and desire and upliftment and support, and not the toxic things that really hold you both back. I love that for you. Just make sure that you're communicating thoroughly, because that's going to be the thing that really gets you to that space of happiness. Okay. So moving forward, let's go ahead and look at your personal growth throughout the month of June. For group number 3. Wow, all 3 piles have gotten this card. So we've got Transition, Cauliflower. So I do feel like this is about you stepping into some new energy. Of course, that comes along with any transition. And I'm hearing change is scary. So I feel like there's some scarcity, there's some fear surrounding embracing this. And it may be because you don't see the full picture. The moon can be very mysterious. But I feel like as long as you are willing to really embrace it, even if you don't see the full picture, just to keep your heart open and say, maybe I don't have all the answers, but I'm willing to learn, I'm willing to grow, I'm willing to expand, I'm willing to follow my intuition, then I think that this will greatly serve you and that you will deeply benefit from whatever this transition is about. So let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, love to see it. I love to see Temperance on the bottom of the deck for you, because this does feel like a very purifying moment, a very healing moment. Okay, something happened with my camera. It stopped recording. But moving on, I do love to see that you've got Temperance on the bottom of the deck. You are getting this really purifying energy. This transition is offering you a lot of growth, a lot of personal growth, a lot of fresh energy. And I do feel that with the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Cups, this does feel like an opportunity to expand. The Magician, it really speaks of creating in a realistic way. So, you are connected to your spiritual side, but you're more so focused on what you've currently got going on in your life, like what is attainably yours right now, and how can you build upon that. And so I do feel like this is about self-care. This is about you making more of an effort to date yourself, to really give yourself permission to be who you are and to follow your intuition, to kind of give yourself the love that I think that you've either been missing or that you just have forgotten to give yourself. I feel like this is a major self-improvement moment or month for you where you're going to be throwing out the old habits of limiting yourself and saying, no, I can't do it, or no, I'm not worthy of it, and reintroducing those loving moments, those tender moments. Maybe some inner child healing will really benefit you. But yeah, I just feel like this is a time for you to create the love, the passion, the desire that you really want in your life. And not just in relation to, how you feel towards yourself, but also the things that you're working on, the projects that you have. Feeling connected to what you are working on is going to really benefit you in terms of like the long term, in terms of you feeling connected to the success that you are ultimately heading towards. I want to grab a little bit more clarity. Yeah, this is just a time for you to shift. It's a time for you to not only, shift perspectives, but to stop blaming yourself, to stop judging who you are and saying, I don't have room to be or have what I want because I'm not this way, because I don't have this thing, because I don't look this way. There's just a lot of like harmful, or even it could go all the way to like hateful energy that I feel like is kind of exuding from the way that you speak to yourself. And so I definitely feel like that's changing. I feel like your confidence is changing in the month of June, but it's going to take some time and it's going to be important. I do see a lot of energy of like waiting. So it may be that you don't get immediate results, and know that that's okay. Transitions take time. And even if it's something that you really, really want for yourself and you're actively practicing, I do feel like there's a little bit of a waiting game there. There's a little bit of like waiting for the energy to be right for you, or waiting for the physical side of your vibrational desire to enter your life. So just make sure that you're being patient. Make sure that you are giving yourself permission to take your time through this transition and not rushing through or blaming yourself or holding yourself back because you haven't accomplished something very quickly, or because you aren't already where you want to be. There's a lot progressing, there's a lot of growth happening, but it is going to take time. And it's important that you really give yourself the space to reflect on what it is that you want without judging yourself for not already having attained that. I hope that that makes sense. So yeah, I really love this for you. I'm going to go ahead and give you your little angel number before we head out. But I think that the month of June is going to be a really liberating experience for you. It's a good time for you to get clear, for you to refine your work life, to really talk about the things that you need in terms of support and love, and for you to really step into who you are and who you're meant to be, and give yourself the space and the time and the energy and the emotion to really achieve that. Okay, so let's take a look at your little angel number. Oh, you've got 6060, divine protection. I am protected by the divine in all that I do. I trust in the universe's guidance and protection. I am safe and secure, knowing that I am always guided towards my highest good. Ain't that the truth? I love that for you. I really feel like your guides are saying, you've got this. You're okay. It's all right. You're going to be okay. And if you're struggling right now, just give yourself a little hug. Give yourself a little pat on the back, because you're doing better than you think you are. And yes, it takes work to get all of these things done. It's not just going to be handed to you on a silver platter, but it's so worth it. And you are fully capable of doing the work. You're fully capable. So if you found this reading helpful, insightful, and uplifting, and you like the way that I read tarot and oracle, then please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do post a weekly pick a card and a monthly guidance video as well. So yeah, I love you all. I wish you all the best in the month of June. Blessed be.